In August 11th, 2000 editions of the New York Times, James McKinley Jr. published an article called Sports Psychology. It isn't just a game, clues to avid rooting. The purpose of this article was to convey a message. The average sports fan doesn't usually think about the effects that rooting for a particular team or engaging in fan activities of any sport has on his or her behavior and his or her attitude in general. For example, a college student doesn't really normally think about how he or she feels overall after watching a game, or doesn't really think about the effects that whether his or her team won or lose has on his or her attitude or behaviors. From this article, I learned that physiological changes occur within the brain and bodies of people that watch sports, leading to behavioral changes. For example, testosterone levels can change after watching a game, or a person's confidence level may change, leading him or her to think more highly of himself or less highly of himself. If I were to further research the topic discussed in this article, I would start by gathering information about people's daily lives and their opinions toward their lives, and compare that with their participation in sports activities as a fan. For example, I could ask about their overall happiness in their life, their overall contentment, whether they're depressed or any other psychological problems or whatever, and compare that against how much they watch sports, and from that I could draw conclusions about people that watch sports versus people that don't watch sports, and their levels of depression, their levels of contentment with their lives, their levels of happiness, how many friends they have, just general things like that. I would expect to find similar findings to those outlined in the article, those being that people who watch sports are generally less depressed. I would expect to find this because if somebody likes a particular team, that gives them a common starting ground to identify with a whole other group of people. So it can lead to people feeling like other people understand where they're coming from or get them, and lead to someone not feeling alone. This article relates to this course because it goes into the physiological changes that occur before, during, and after watching sporting events, and the behavioral consequences of watching these sporting events.